copyright. Self-awareness. This is a really big one. Self-management. Getting the awareness, then managing that awareness. Self-motivation. And this is really good for those of you that are just getting started. And again, for those of you that are seasoned professionals and you've had a business for a long time, it's always good to go back and look at what your core motivation was so that you can stay on track with that. Empathy. So I always feel, for me, as I'm trying to build a sisterhood community, empathy and self-motivation go hand in hand. I can't separate the two. So we are definitely going to dig deep today. I'm going to give you pauses to look in your workbook and take notes today. It's a lot more mellow, slower paced day. So let's look at self-motivation, which is going to be focused on identifying your unique who, what, why, when. And I love these W's. These are something that I always tell students when I'm teaching English to look into. These are the keys of building communication or sentences. And these are going to be some of the keys for you to identify with your brand. I'm going to guess that for most of you, okay, there was a need that you had in the past. So your what was the need you had in the past? What was it that you needed guidance on? And you found an opening in the market for this guidance. Someone or the someone that you needed was not there to help. So you stepped up and created this business. What was the need you had in the past? So in your workbook, it says, take a closer look at your what. Chances are the need you are fulfilling is a need you had in the past. The need you are fulfilling is a need you had in the past. Okay, because we all didn't get to this place from day one. We worked hard to get here, and now we are in a position to help other people move there. And I have had clarity calls with so many women over the past couple of weeks, and some of their fields are in pain management, arthritis, money management, obesity, infidelity, childcare, communication. There's so much need for what you have to offer, but be very clear on the need that you are fulfilling and making sure that that is your passion. It's not just the thing that you think will make the most profit. If you want to be sustainable, you've got to dig deep. And I remember a particular call with a very successful entrepreneur. She had received so many accolades in her life. She was in her late, well, I would say she was almost 60, late 50s, and she had done numerous community service, won awards for that. Her family had been to the White House. She had done a lot of work. I remember it was in the finance industry and big corporations, really big corporations. And now when we spoke, and this is what I like to do, I really like to soul search with my clients. When we spoke, you could see in her face that she talked about building a new business, because I think she also got swept away into the online movement. And she wanted to build this new business, which was again a finance business. And I worked with her on crafting her message and coming up with titles, and all of that was good, but I still didn't see her resonate with any of it. So usually I work with clients for an hour. This went into 2 hours. And finally, towards the end, she began to reveal that she loved counseling young people. She was working with the teenagers and 20-somethings in her family who needed relationship counseling. And the minute she said that, her face lit up. Like, I've been doing this for years, and I think I can build a business on it. And we talked about that, and I said, wow, this is really your passion. And she said, yes, but I have no credentials. So it was a bit disheartening, because after speaking to her for so long and really nailing her passion, she came back to a place of fear. And we talked about that yesterday. Fear has a function. Fear could be telling you what you need to move toward. Yes, it's trying to protect you from rejection or from some form of disappointment. But going through it on the other side can be your joy. And I talked with a sister, Whitney, who told me about, well, we heard it before, false evidence appearing real. And I'm going to give fear a new name today. Fear has a function. My new name for fear is fully energized. All resources. Fully energized, all resources. Your mind, your heart, your knowledge, your experience, not the knowledge, because this is your online brand, which is you, not the knowledge and experience that you had on your CV, the knowledge and real life experience that you have in your heart can help someone. There is someone to move to the next level. So dig deep and stay with it. And this is why I'm here today. I have my little sticky notes all the time. And about 2 months ago, I said, leap and learn. Because I have a technical background, so I was in analysis paralysis. I spent 2 years studying entrepreneurship for women, and some of my mentors may be on the line today, and getting information overwhelmed and not taking action. Because I did take action in the past, lost some money, got afraid, said I wasn't going to do that again, and just stopped completely. But that's not the way to go. We can educate ourselves to be more aware of how the business works, and then take action. take action. Fear has that function. It can tell you what to go toward. But remember that for this woman, her solution, her way out is you. You are presenting someone a different way of looking at it. And everything you have answered here will become part of your deeper mission. And if you are able to articulate that, then your client will come to you. Now, the challenge is, what if? So this is another person, I call it Mr. What If, that comes along and says, what if my ideal client, the one that my heart really wants to help, can't afford my services? What if she's not on social media? Or what if there's so many what ifs that come to us. One of the things that we're working on today is getting comfortable on camera. What if I don't have the ideal, look or presentation to attract this client? What if I don't have the credentials? And he asks me about my credentials. These are all of the big old, I call him Mr. Big Old What If, that is just keeps hanging around. And he's gotten awfully comfortable on the couch, and some of you ladies need to kick him to the curb because he is going to hold you back and stop you from doing what you need to be doing. Mr. What If, let's take a look at Mr. What If. All he wants to do is keep you where you are and say, let's not move on any further from this. What if my family doesn't approve of what I'm doing? What if I'm supposed to do this service for free and not make any profits because I'm a coach? I'm trying to help people. How can I charge a premium for helping people? What if people judge me? There are so many what ifs. I'm hoping I can get a few what ifs from you. I'm going to go back to the group now. This is your opportunity. Put your hand up if you can give me a what if. Actually, you can just put your hand up naturally if you have a what if that comes to mind. So yeah, I'm back here on the Zoom. All right, anybody, can you think of a what if that might hold someone back from moving forward in their business? That's right. All right. All right. Yes. All right. Are you able to unmute, Beverly?
What if I fail?
What if I fail? Yes, that's a huge one. Just let me turn my volume up a little bit. That's a huge one. That's a huge Mr. What If that just sits there. And we have to think about that. We have to address that. Why is that what if hanging around us? What is the worst thing that could happen? What does that failure look like? I mean, I know we're supposed to visualize positive things all the time, but what is the definition of fail? Is it the end of the world? Does it mean you're going to be banished and put into some corner of society somewhere? It could actually feel like that. I actually thought that way. I remember in the past, because when I was coaching online, people did not think that was a job. If you cannot tell people how you can help them, they won't know. They might like you. They might love your brand. They might be your friend and you be in your community, but they just don't know. And so I also need to tell you, I want to create, just hit me, I want to create a sisterhood. I want to help you pandemic proof your business by making it international, connecting the dots of the sisters around the world with all the gifts they have: finances, music, freelancers, healthcare. We together in the sisterhood can help each other move forward. And I want to be the conduit for that. And I don't. So you need to work up the courage and the joy and the passion that you have in you to tell that not only client, that human being, what it is you can help them with. And I put a few phrases here that may help you. Tell her, him, whatever, I see you struggling with. I understand because I've been there too. I really want to help you with, because I know that after I help you, you can. And this is something, no matter what industry, you can help someone. I want to say, let me give you an example. If you were a pen salesperson and you were helping someone with selling pens, okay? Because don't think that you're not helping someone. If I did not have this pen, I would not be able to write my notes today on pencil and paper and bring my ideas and creativity forward. Pen and paper work for me way better than Google Docs ever could, even though I use Google Docs every day. But my inspiration comes from that. So one little tool can change lives. Language, finances, healthcare, recovery, virtual assistants, music, whatever creative outlet you have to express your passion and move others on, tell them what it is. So that will be the call to action. I will be posting that in the group. For those of you that have to leave at the hour and those that can stick around a few more minutes, we are going to talk. Let's say a little goodbye to those that have to go. And let's say a little hello. And stretch Woo! For those that are still with us. For part 2. Okay. Oh, great. So I have with me a few ladies, and this is the big question. What do you expect from an accountability partner? So I hope you took a moment to write down some of your ideas. Go ahead, put your hand up in the chat. You know that little reaction feature in the Zoom, click more and then click reaction.
I'm on the phone. I have problems putting this hand up.
Okay. But you've already unmuted. So do you have some?
Yeah, I just wrote it just like now during the class because I just did the video, but I forgot of the part. But what I would like to give, and as well maybe then expect back as well, is some honest feedback, like negative as positive.
Yes.
Like I've been in another group and people say, oh, this is maybe too harsh. I didn't like that or that in your video or so. And I said, no, exactly. That's what I need. Otherwise, I can't grow. So, of course, you always should start with something nice, and always something nice is in everything everybody or someone is doing, but then as well get some really to the basics and say, okay, this could be improved, and don't be shy of telling others even some negative things. That's what I would expect.
Some authentic feedback.
Exactly.
Nice. I like that. And this is something that we can also learn how to do. Because for me, when I see somebody giving really harsh negative feedback, my mama bear comes out and I say, hey, this is part of my tribe. Don't hurt her. But Stephanie is saying she appreciates that. She can handle that. And she can recraft her message based on that feedback. But it has to be given in a way that it's constructive.
How you formulate it, how you bring it over. That's there's different ways, and that should be a positive way. But don't, if you really don't like something in another post, because and this is what you need to grow. I think with your accountability partner, you really need to be honest and open, and always friendly and smiling.
Yes, I've only had one accountability partner. And again, this is why I love the idea of the sisterhood, because you have the variety of people giving different feedbacks, and you can also kind of pick, choose, and refuse what resonates with you, because sometimes if we are not giving our authentic message and someone gives us feedback on an inauthentic message, like some of the examples I told you, the people I work with, you're not going to be able to receive it because you're not really telling them what you're doing. You're holding back something. You're mainstreaming it. And so that makes it very hard for them to give you feedback on something that you're 100% not committed to. So be careful of that. And okay, that brings another thing to mind, but I'll come back to that. Anyone else would love to give me some details, what you expect and what do you need from an accountability partner? Just raise your hand manually and I'll call you. Yes, Vanessa. Oh, yes, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry. First of all, my apologies. The time difference has me a little bit confused. I thought it was 7 in my time, but okay. I would say cheerleader. You always need a cheerleader so that you can cheer each other no matter what. If you're feeling down or up, that you always have that person who can cheer you on. So yes. I would say cheer, yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. And I know some of our sisters, I want to give a shout out to Sister Elizabeth Carlton, who's not here with us today because she has a meeting. And Liz, who's going through something with her, Tina, who's going through something with her family and couldn't be here today, who I've seen in the group just cheerleading people on. And you need those people who are committed to putting that feedback out there, saying, I see you, keep doing it, good job. I love that. I love doing that, but it's not always time permitted to get to everyone. So that's why all of us need to be cheerleaders. And that's one of the questions that I ask in my group. Can you be a cheerleader? Can you look for the positive in someone else? Because we can often see the negative in ourselves. Sometimes that's all we see. So when someone gives us a compliment, it's like, yeah, okay. I bought this on sale. It's the first thing I used to say. I'd never just accept a compliment and say thank you, because I felt like someone would judge me if I just accepted it. And so cheerleading is a great thing. Keep going, keep going. What else can we? Yes, Dr. Denise.
So I would say support and a helping hand, genuine support and a helping hand.
Yes.
So, and let me elaborate a little bit more. That, to me, that looks like, depending on where a person is in their journey, if they're at the resistance crossroad and they need a helping hand to get across the street or to break through that point of resistance, have someone else take them by the hand in a supportive manner and walk them through those steps, taking that time, investing that time in someone else's success. To me, that is of utmost value. And I don't see it often enough, but I know it exists.
And it's called, I can reframe that by just saying the time, giving that time to a person. You do not have to be an expert in the tech. You do not have to be an expert in creating visual graphics. But if you sit down with someone while they're going through that process, a lot of times they break through and they realize, this is the way I should do it. And this is one of the things I love to do in my coaching, and I'm sure many of you will be doing in your coaching and whatever business you have as well. You will be taking the time to sit with someone and really help them break through to the other side. And that's all it takes, because a lot of us have it in us already. We know, and this is what this session was about, we know who we want to work with. We know how we can work with them. I call it the blue dress or the red dress syndrome. Every time, this was years ago, when my mom used to get dressed up to go to a fancy banquet or dinner, she would often ask me, should I wear the red or should I wear the blue? And I would say, the red. And I'd give a whole dissertation on why the red would pop and be fantastic on her and da 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 da. And she would say, and come out with the blue dress on. And this happened several times. And I would say, Mom, why do you keep asking me my opinion on this? Sometimes we need to hear the opposite opinion before we understand what we truly want to do. It gives us a kind of mirror to reflect on. And that's huge. And this is, I had to learn this in coaching and helping women, that sometimes we as women say, yes, that was good advice, Diva, thank you. And then I see you do something completely different. It's okay. Because as long as the time was spent helping you get the clarity, it's not time wasted. You needed to see that. I'm trying to remember, a very, really not so great coaching session. Oh, an accountability partner from another entrepreneur group, which I'm a member of. I showed her my workbook. This is my old workbook. You guys have seen the new refreshed version. I showed her my workbook, and she had like criticism after criticism on each page. This is a no-no, ladies. Please don't do that to people in my group. And she had some, and I said, you know, she had some criteria that was based on how people should do social media. I'm like, this is just a workbook. Oh, you can't put your image on there. So needless to say, that was our last accountability session, because I needed to hear at least one positive